First, we're going to examine a shift from long to short to long run equilibrium. Let's say the World Cup is next month, and our firm in Connecticut needs to produce a stylish World Cup ball to maximize our profits.
The firm begins at the breaking even point in the long run, but when they produce the new ball, the firm shifts into the profit maximizing case. This increases the demand, and thus, the firm's profit also increases. Since firms continue to exit and enter in perfect competition, the firm will eventually go back to breaking even in the long run.
The next shift we're going to examine goes from short to long run. A sandstorm kills off the cotton crop of multiple fields in Asia, and considering cotton is almost always used for the internal lining of a soccer ball, our supply is now shorted.
The firm is now already assumed to be in the short run, and it begins to make a profit. Because of the sandstorm though, the supply of the firm decreases. This raises the price of every soccer ball, as each ball would be a bigger commodity, so there are less on the market. The firm is also experiencing less profit than they were originally. Since firms continue to exit and enter in a perfect competition, the firm will eventually go back to breaking even in the long run.
The next shift we're going to examine goes also from long to short to long run. Let's say there's a crisis with soccer balls popping in Lower Texas, making more Americans shy away from the sport as a whole.
The firm starts at the breaking even point in the long run, but when the crisis with the soccer balls popping surfaces, the firm shifts into the profit maximizing, or in this context, loss minimizing case of the short run. This scenario entails a decreasing demand for soccer balls, and thus, the firm will be experiencing a loss in the short run. Since firms continue to exit and enter in perfect competition, the firm will eventually go back to breaking even in the long run.
The next shift we are going to examine goes from short to long run. More people in America are attracted to the sport due to the US's World Cup semi-final appearance in 2018. Therefore, more parents sign their kids up for soccer instead of baseball. More soccer balls are needed to combat this.
The firm is now already assumed to be in the short run and begins to make a profit. Because of the influx of popularity of soccer due to the World Cup performance, the demand for soccer balls increases drastically. This pushes the firm into making a larger profit in the short run and eventually breaking even at a higher point in the long run as the price of soccer balls goes up due to the increased demand. The firm wants to maximize its profit at this point.
Now we'll look at what happens when both supply and demand experience a shift simultaneously. A hurricane hits the northeast United States, and demand goes down because soccer fields are all ruined, and a latex facility is destroyed that supplies 50% of the latex used in soccer ball bladders, so supply goes down as well.
The firm begins at the breaking even point in the long run, but when a hurricane hits the northeastern United States, the firm shifts into the short run to deal with both decreased demand due to soccer fields being ruined by the hurricane and decreased supply due to a latex facility being destroyed. This will increase the cost of making each soccer ball due to higher shipping costs for latex and increase the price of each ball due to lower demand in a perfectly competitive market. Eventually, as soccer fields get repaired and local latex facilities get rebuilt, the firm will go back to its original position before the hurricane. As a result of the aforementioned hurricane, the fields are assumed to be repaired, reverting to demand levels before the hurricane, but a new latex facility is built and has not yet been checked for safety standards. In exchange for unchecked safety standards, a workers' union negotiates for much higher wages as compensation until the makeshift facility can be inspected, resulting in costs going up. Eventually, the facility will be inspected and this deal between Uber balls and the workers' union will stop, resulting in the firm's costs going back to levels prior to the hurricane.
Now let's examine a scenario that goes from the short run to the long run. Wilson, the company, makes a new basketball that does not use polyester, leaving more material to make soccer balls that results in a shift in supply.
The firm is now already assumed to be in the short run and begins making a profit. Because of Wilson's new invention, there is an increased supply of polyester available in the short run to make soccer balls. The price of the good would go down because of this increased supply. The firm would also profit from this increased supply of polyester. Then, since firms continue to exit and enter in perfect competition, the firm will eventually go back to breaking even in the long run.
Created using Powtoon.